Hey there, welcome to the Funny Farm. The russet potatoes I harvested earlier in the week. When I was laying them out to dry, I discovered that one of them was already starting to rot on the end from all the rain that we've been having. This pot right here looked lush and green a week ago, and now it looks like it's starting to rot in all the rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these are Kennebec white potatoes out today. This one clump here on the side is the only thing that has green left on it. Everything else is looking dead. The best time to harvest potatoes is when it's dry. But that's not the hand we've been dealt. So I feel like the second best time to harvest potatoes is before they all rot. That's why we're getting these out of here today. Because we had rot issue in the other. This one right here has got a little bit of scab on it. And we've got a few with green shoulders, which shocks me as much mulch as I had on this. Yeah, look at this funny looking guy. It almost looks like a pink fir apple potato the way it grew. If the weather had been better, we could have let these go longer and we probably would have got bigger potatoes. Look at the size of that one, but see the splitting on there? Scab. That's a nice potato. Also grew kind of weird. It's our funny looking one. A lot of funny shaped ones in this pot. I don't know if that's a seed potato or something that already started to rot. I will also give you a walk through the garden and show you some of the other issues we're dealing with rot on the veggies from all this rain. So you know that one there, that's a new potato. And the end of it is already starting to rot. So there's our first rotten one for sure. That was not a seed potato. Okay, I'm gonna put you down, dig with 2 hands, and I'll be back. Okay, this is what we got out of that pot. I will inspect these closely and make sure nothing else has rot on it. That's what we got out of that pot. It's been a rough potato year up here. It's either been raining nonstop or 98 degrees and drought back and forth this year. So I think potatoes are suffering, but I'll weigh these and I'll add it to our so far 47 pounds for the year and see what we got from this little potato dig. And just a side note on these potatoes that do have a little bit of scab on them. If you don't know, you don't want to replant these, the ones with scab, because it will come back in your next crop. Because there was scab in this pot, I will also not be putting potatoes back in this pot again because it will be in the soil. Because we've had so much rain, we've had problems with rot in other areas of the garden. This side of this bed used to have some bigger turnips in it, and everything that I hadn't picked I had to pull this week because they were starting to rot. Hoping the younger ones do better. So far so good. But these were fallen over and done. You see we're growing moss in here right now instead of vegetables. This bed over here had cabbage completely rot off. Same with my celery that I hadn't picked yet. It was just done and fell over. The chard is still plugging along though. I'm gonna clean this up today and probably add some more soil and replant something there. I do have a second planting of a couple celery here, which so far are surviving the rain, fingers crossed. Same goes for this little tote that had my Peter Pan squash in it. They all just gave up the ghost and rotted, and I had to pull these out as well. I do have some second rounds of squash coming up though in different areas. One of the squash I did replant was patty pan, so I'm glad I did that because those are my favorite. One of the remaining cauliflower that was back here at the back also rotted off at the stem. But the spaghetti squash in this bed is still doing just fine. Allie from My Rusty Garden suggested umbrellas for the sweet potatoes. I'm seriously considering getting some big umbrellas or shower curtains to throw over these potatoes if the rain doesn't stop. What do you think, Allie? I think this umbrella is big enough to block a few sweet potatoes. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will give you a weight on these potatoes at the end. Sorry about my loud dishwasher. Here are the Kennebec weights on the scale. 3.5 pounds. So that brings us to 50.5 pounds for the year so far this year on our potatoes.